Let's get you all the details that we know about the cyclone. I know there are a lot of questions about the name itself. We'll focus on that in another segment. But essentially, the name Biparjoy means disaster. The name was recommended by Bangladesh. And remember, there's a very interesting story of how cyclones' names are really chosen by the Met Department. But tomorrow is when the cyclone officially makes landfall. The impact of it is going to be felt from 8 a.m. in the morning, but officially at 3 p.m. is when it makes landfall. And according to the Met Department, wind speeds could go right up to 155 kilometers per hour. And you can only imagine what that really means for people living in that area and the kind of damage to property that can be reported with wind speeds reaching right up to that level. It's expected thereby to cause massive damage, and that's why you've got NDRF teams who have been deployed, 17 NDRF teams who've been deployed in different pockets of Gujarat based on where the impact is expected. Over 45,000 people have now been shifted to relief camps, to safer zones. And this has been done courtesy the coordinated efforts between the central government, the state government, local authorities who've been working round the clock for the last many days. A red alert has been sounded by the Met Department for Saurashtra, for Dwarka, as well as Kutch coast. It's the coastal districts of Gujarat, particularly North Gujarat, that's going to really be battered by Cyclone Biparjoy. And that's where largely the rescue efforts have been focused. As Cyclone Biparjoy is inching closer and closer to the Gujarat coast, authorities have left nothing to chance. This cyclone is capable of wreaking havoc, of creating a lot of property loss as well as casualties, which is why there have been mass evacuations. Over 45,000 people overall who've been evacuated, particularly from the coastal pockets of Gujarat. Here's a ground report by Ashutosh and Gopi Manyar.
As Cyclone Biparjoy nears the Gujarat coast, the focus is on evacuating people from low-lying areas and the impact points. When Cyclone Biparjoy makes landfall, wind speeds could go up to 195 km per hour, enough to cause large-scale destruction and havoc. And that's why authorities are taking no chances. Over 30,000 people have been shifted from coastal areas to makeshift shelters in anticipation of powerful cyclone. This is Mundra town in Kutch district, where locals are being moved out ahead of the cyclone making landfall.
So here all these laborers who are usually living in a kacha house made by tin sheet, metal sheet, and that probably will literally blown away with the wind speed as it is expected during the cyclone impact. Hence all under preventive measures they have been evacuated, taken to the safer places in these shelter house, the government accommodations, school, dharamshala, mandir, all these premises. Certain arrangements including the health, medicines have been made out here.
Nearby villages also wear a deserted look now, as most locals have been moved out.
And this is the place, the village called Modhwa, which is located between Mandvi and Mundra in the Kutch region, largely dominated by the fishermen community, and everyone has now evacuated. All I see, what is left here in this net, which is of course the one and only source of income for the fishermen community. Entire village is now looking deserted. Everyone has left, and that was the priority of the administration, to take them to safer places.
The cyclone is expected to have maximum impact in Kutch, and that's why multiple NDRF teams have been deployed in these villages.
पानी जो है वो यहाँ पे आने की जो संभावनाएं हैं वो सबसे ज्यादा जताई जा रही है। वैसे में अब जो घर है वो धीरे धीरे यहाँ पे खाली करवाए जा रहे हैं। ये सारे फिशरमैन हैं जो यहाँ पे मछुआरी करके अपना जीवन बसर करते हैं, लेकिन अब उनको भी डर लगने लगा है, उनको भी डर सता रहा है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं उनको लग रहा है कि साइक्लोन जो है वो सबसे ज्यादा इसी इलाके को प्रभावित करेगा।
बच्चे से हमारे लेडीज बच्चे सब है, इसलिए हम बहुत डरे हुए।
ये सब बच्चे के लेडीज को डर है, पर हमको तरवरिया है, हमको डर नहीं आता है, बच्चे के साथ डर होता है।
With villages evacuated and NDRF, SDRF teams on standby, Gujarat braces for Cyclone Biparjoy. With Ashutosh Mishra and Gopi Manyar in Kutch, Bureau Report, India Today.